All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to DGENZ CRYPTO DAILY, episode 6. How's everyone doing on this hump day? I want to say it's a good hump day, but I logged into CoinDesk to read some news, and we have shitty news today. Let's get into it right away, because this may set a precedent for a lot of us in the NFT space. I'll show you what I mean. So CoinDesk published an article about OpenSea getting the wealth notice from the SEC, calling NFTs sold on the platform securities. And that is obviously a bad thing for the entire industry. It's essentially saying NFTs are a security. And this is obviously not good for anybody who's in the space, whether you're an artist, whether you're trying to use NFTs as tools to onboard more users to your platform, or if you sell NFTs within games to, enhance the gaming experience. This is actually a really, really bad look for all of us. So it's unfortunate. OpenSea did get this wealth notice. Let's see what the article says. It says here, non-fungible tokens marketplace OpenSea received a notice from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission that intends to pursue an enforcement action, the company disclosed on Wednesday. OpenSea has received a Wells notice from the SEC threatening to sue us because they believe NFTs on our platform are securities. We are shocked the SEC would make such a sweeping move against creators and artists, but we're ready to stand up and fight, he added. OpenSea did not respond to CoinDesk's request for comment by press time. So, the issue obviously is there are no guidelines on NFTs. We've talked about this many times. And we always wondered, are NFTs deemed securities? Are they not? And they're going to give us at least some guidelines so we know what's going on. And unfortunately today, they're deemed securities. Now, most people that are in the NFT world are actually not fazed by this. I think people that are obviously owning high-priced NFTs are probably phased by this because they're wondering if they do hold on to them, what's going to happen to them. I personally don't think anything's going to happen to them. I think this notice is just an extortion method by the SEC for OpenSea. They've done this with Binance. They've done this with tried to do that with Coinbase and everything. So I still don't think anything's going to happen with the NFT world. I think we're still going to move forward because at the end of the day, they can only send cease and desist notices to companies that are providing NFTs, but the NFTs themselves may not cease to exist. So it's a sad day that they're going after OpenSea and the creator world in the crypto world. But here we are, right? So let's keep an eye on this moving forward and see what happens with this. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more people chiming in on this moving forward. So we'll keep an eye on it. If anything comes along, we'll report on it. What else is there? There is a big notice on Cardano. Cardano's blockchain is heading for a major upgrade. It's called Chang Hard Fork, and it's the biggest upgrade in 2 years. The main feature of the upgrade is to give Cardano the ability to introduce on-chain governance features. In essence, it's more decentralized, which, I mean, anyone in crypto knows this is the backbone of crypto. Being decentralized, being totally free from central entities to control blockchains and so on. So this is a great idea by Charles to do that. It says the upgrade, known as the Chang Hard Fork, is a major milestone in Cardano's roadmap, punctuated by the much awaited addition of smart contracts functionality in 2021. The Chang Hard Fork was initially set to go through this week, but Hodgson announced on Friday that it has been pushed back to September 1st. So some exchanges, including Binance, could prepare the systems. Yeah, anytime there's a hard fork or any upgrade to the network, every single exchange has to comply and continue on with the updates, because if they don't, they're not going to have the proper software to run the blockchain. So that's good. How does that reflect Cardano price? I don't think it has any meaning at all, just because of the conditions the market's in right now. So let's look at Cardano, for example. Basically a nothing burger. If we were in bullish scenarios, we would see price action resemble something like right there, right? Hard fork, meaning more governance. We get into this major bullish momentum, right? And then we'll get to like a high point at some point, and then we sell from there. But maybe it has something down the road if we get bullish in, say, October, right? So October is about here. This is the month of October. So maybe we get some extension here, right? Come down and then up we go again. But overall, for Cardano's sake, right, it will be very difficult to see, I don't know, say $6. I know $3 right here was the high point of the last bull run. So double that will be $6. So this will be the end point for the next bull run. It's rare that multiple blockchains see higher highs, and I think Solana's going to get one, right? It's going to go over $250. Ethereum's going to get one. Obviously, Bitcoin's going to get one. I don't know if we're going to get Cardano to do that. I really don't. It'll be very difficult to get to that level, just because now there's, I believe, more tokens circulation, and it would have to go with the market. So if the market moves by, say, a 5x factor, it would also move by 5x just to keep up, right? So if we're here at about $1, okay, a 5x on that would make it $5 or so. You know what I mean? So that's possible. I think that's absolutely possible, but nevertheless, I think Cardano is in good hands. People that really believe in it should still stay true to it. I know a lot of people just have unwavering support for Cardano. So congrats to you, honestly, because it's every founder needs it. Let's quickly look at the main indicators that we always look at, which is the tether indicator, tether dominance indicator, which unfortunately did the opposite of what we wanted. Right, last week was actually really good. So last week we had this bearish reaction, right, to this level here and there, so which was good, but obviously this week started terribly. It supported this level here, and then pretty much negated all of last week's action by being as the actual candle is as big as the last candle, which is exactly not what we want. We still have 4 days to close, not including today, so we can still get some bearish momentum on this chart, and that will push things back down this way. Even though we had a small cross here on the weekly, I don't know if you guys can see that the EMA cross happened. It's not the end of the world, because we can still get bearish action this way. Let me look at this here. See how on this section we have multiple crosses. We have one over here, and then we have one over here, then one over here. So we can still get lots of crosses, right? So it's not the end of the world. And so when I see something like this, I'm like, you know what? As long as we have bearish momentum for the rest of the week, that means like the bull market, small bull market is back. We should see this breakdown eventually. So the pushback will be from the top, and then we'll come this way, and then hopefully that will push it further down to here. Once we get to this level here, well, actually most of this level here, we're good, and then we will see the bullish momentum take us into October, November. How are stocks doing? Well, we talked about this level actually yesterday or the day before, how this level was key. Like we saw a whole bunch of supports here. It's kind of like the head and shoulders we were talking about, right? So right there. The neckline will be somewhere here, about here. There's a possibility this supports and then, kind of tries to move up, gets rejected by these lines here, and it goes down. Or we just have a small move towards this 200 EMA, weekly EMA, and then straight down, touches this red EMA, and then further than that. There will be some time. I think 2025 is a good year, I think, for everyone when you look at it, because the timing is really, really good. Sorry, there's somebody wood chipping here. If you guys hear it on the stream, I'm so sorry. I can't make this guy go away. Hopefully you can hear me, but anyway. So if we have this, if you look at the 2025 section, right, we hope to have price action here, here, right, and then most likely it'll go up. When it does go up, that means we're in a recession again, or bearish momentum. So see how here 2022 is really, really bad for all of us, right? And so if this happens again, looks like 2026 to 27 is pretty bad as well. Okay. We'll obviously keep an eye on that as much as we can, because it does play a role how everything lines up, inflation, oil, a whole bunch of other things. Quickly look at oil. I heard oil was going up. I still think that it's going to definitely go down. People like to talk about oil being more expensive down the road. Well, look, if you look at this chart itself, we wanted to see more rejection against this line right here. We saw it here, right? And now it's breaking down. So this 200 EMA is starting to break down. And it's going to most likely come down. I think crude should get down to about 60. No, about here. I'll show you. About right there. So it's about $42 per barrel. It might take us a while, right? So maybe the timing is off for right now. But like we talked about, 26 to 27 might be the year. So you're looking at like something like this, and then line up again to go higher. Because it takes time, right? Like most of the traditional finance takes a long time to develop. There's too many factors, too many variables. This is not crypto where things can go really quickly, or especially not NFTs where things go up 200% overnight. So it will take some time, but we will have time to look at it and make sure we get to a level where we can time the market correctly. Forgot to mention, if you are not following me and you like the stream and you like the content, please give me a follow. Follow myself, Chart Davidson, or our NFT project at DGENZ NFT. We really appreciate the support and the mentions and retweets and the interactions, because this is how we get encouraged to provide more content for y'all. I dedicated this stream for Oculus for a reason, because I really think people are upset at the price action of Oculus. So I want to give you guys a little bit of positivity today. Obviously, a disclaimer, I'm personally invested. My fund is invested. I know a lot of people in my circles are invested. I know a lot of people have good feelings about investing into Oculus, and nothing has wavered either. So for those that are listening in who need some more reassurance, they're unsure about what's happening, I'm going to do you guys some good today. All right. First off, I'm going to start with a Cardano chart. Okay. So this is a Cardano chart on a weekly scale, actually on a logarithmic weekly scale. And I want you to pay attention to the setup that looks like this. All right. It doesn't look perfect, but we can still identify some certain things. Okay. So we have left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? It's supposedly the neckline is here. We can probably make some assumptions it's there. Maybe it's up here. Sorry, that's the same line. Maybe it's up here, right? But nevertheless, the neckline is supposed to be there. And so we talk about this all the time. Whenever the neckline actually supports and it doesn't fail, we have a rejection. So at that moment, even though the COVID drop was really severe, we did have support and rejection, and eventually we went back up. How much up? Well, we got to do some retracements. So let's start with here. Okay, we lower it down to this level about, okay. And then let's see where we were at. So at first we saw some resistance here, right, with at the 2 fib. And then we saw resistances and support, well, actually much higher than that, right? But we saw resistance and support at like 10 fib, most likely at, this is 11 or 12, and then 13, 14 fib, and so on and so forth. So you can see that the main fibs act as resistances and supports, okay? But the point of this exercise is to show you guys that we went way higher than expected. So as long as the fundamentals are great, we have a good leader, we have good technology, we have a good community, right? Which Cardano actually had. It still has to this day, by the way. We have to assume things will be the same again for other projects. And so when you identify projects like Oculus, we can easily see that this price action is going to most likely resemble Cardano. So remember what we just talked about here with Cardano, right? We had a massive first wave, and then second wave, and then the third wave, right? So the third wave was here. So 3 waves, 3 bullish waves with 2 bearish waves like that. And that's the end of the run. We still haven't seen any of that in Oculus. Okay, so Let's look at Opulus. Again, remember the formation? So we were seeing a weird head and shoulders. And so I'll start here. So there's your left, there's your head, there's your right. Okay. The neckline is skewed. I understand that. So we assume the neckline's about there. Right. And so we have very little space left to get to this spot, to the bottom of that neckline, which could easily happen, right? So we're looking at about 4 cents. Let's see here. Yeah, about 4.5 cents, right? And so that could be achieved, right? But remember we talked about the fibs, right? Large fibs. Let's put some retracements here. Okay, so let's go with this right here being the top, and then this being the bottom. All right, so let's see where that takes us. All right, number 2 fib is where? 57 cents. Okay, so we're up here. Makes sense. This area is going to be problematic for bulls because most likely people are going to start selling it. So between 57, right, and then 83 is number 3 fib. Just like that. There's 2 spots to sell. Then we get into things like, all right, what if that doesn't hold? It just keeps going. All right, let's look at other fibs. So number 10 fib is at $2.63. Okay. Again, we're looking at this area right here. So in here is where the top lies, and most likely it's going to get some action. All right, let me just remove some of these things so you can see. I put this line here because I believe you got to look for the main resistances. Like they used to be supports, they turned resistances. So we got to look at, are they going to repeat or not? And it looks like they are. So 10 fib is at $2.67. Most likely this fib right here is number 12. This is probably either 13, 14, or 15. So you got to look at these major fibs as a way of figuring out where the exits are. And 100% we're going to get something like that because fundamentals are there, right? The price action is definitely going to be there because it forms the same structure, right? We talked about the head and shoulders, and then rejection at the neckline proves to have 3 different waves, so most likely like this, like this, like that. Okay, into 2026, right? Clearly, we're not going to get a bull run this year. I know I was wrong. I admit to being wrong, but it looks like it's going to be 2025. If it's 2025, especially without Opulus actually having a bull run, like again, this right here. Let me go back quickly. This right here is not a bull run. That's essentially just a listing and then retracement to find a bottom. So you can't even call that a bull run. So that's one of the big key things is that Opulus has never had a bull run. It's going to have a bull run, I guess, in 2025. And I think its price action will show that we were correct. If you guys have any comments about this, please send it in the chat. I think I'm able to see the chat. Let me just double check. I am. So I will be able to post a comment like this. All right. And so that's Opulus for y'all. Hopefully you guys don't get discouraged. I know it looks terrible right now, but understand, in talking to Lee about everything that he's doing, I think he's doing a great job. He obviously knows how to build a business. And so I have full faith in his qualifications and skill. And, you should really have some too, even though price action looks terrible right now. Okay. Hopefully that solves that issue. if you need to ask me questions about it again, please send me a DM or reply in the comments that I have on Twitter or even on YouTube that we're streaming right now. We had a request like yesterday about looking at Boson. So I want to look at Boson right quickly. One of the things I always do is I keep my old lines to make sure I'm doing things correctly. You know, if I have to adjust something, I adjust something. But right now, everything looks the way it should look. So the major resistance still plays a role in where we're going to look at down the road. So I think we're going to get to at least $4. So it's up here, right? The second scalp looks to be at about almost $2, so $1.98. First scalp is at about $1. So if you really want to get out of a position, like if we already had the first scalp happen here earlier this year, so if you missed it, it's not so bad. You still have lots of time to most likely have another opportunity. It's going to get up to here sooner than later. I don't know whether it's going to do that and then up, or it's going to just start moving up like this. Because when we're counting waves, right, this is wave 1, this is wave 2. So we still have to have the third wave, and then the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave. By rule with Elliott waves, wave number 3 cannot be the smallest wave. So either it could be the second smallest wave or the biggest wave. But it cannot be the smallest wave. So most likely it's going to be bigger than this wave, but not smaller than that. Right? And so Boson is going to have lots of opportunity to get to that major resistance. Now, can it get to, I know I've talked about this, like $30, $40. I don't know. Like, I don't want to give you false hope here, right? Is it possible? Yeah, everything's possible in crypto. But the problem with more projects going on board and going live and all of their tokens are in circulation or they're part of the total market cap, it's really harder for good projects or up-and-coming projects to get traction. And so, especially when the liquidity is scarce, there's not enough money in the marketplace. And so it's going to be difficult for certain projects to get going, but this is why we need the support of the community members. You know, if you're there in the community, in the trenches, you follow the projects, tweet about them, post about them, you know, do analysis, be contributing towards something, right? Because at the end of the day, you're promoting yourself and promoting your positions. I mean, don't you want that? So if you're in the Boson sector or the Boson project and you're wondering when pump, do some tweeting about it, right? Show your support for the founders because they need it. You know, they're out there at every conference trying to talk about their project and what they're doing, and they need your support. So, you know, be a little bit more active if you're not yet. I think it helps them and pushes these founders to keep going. We are approaching 29 minutes. I think we covered a lot of ground. Overall. I want to just double check the total 3 chart because again, that's our altcoin chart, right? And you know, we're waiting for this breakout to happen. You know, we are in this fractal still. We talked about how this is a head and shoulders pattern, so left, head, right, and we had a rejection here. We moved up, so most likely we traced a little bit and then back up. Even though it looks like a bearish candle, weekly candle for now, we still have again 4 days, and I think we'll be able to get there. And see what happens. The last thing I want to check on is Velo. I know my friends at Velo want to double check their price. And again, I mentioned this yesterday about Velo that we did get saved by these 2 lines here. We'd never wanted to be in here. And now that we're here, we're actually hovering over this double EMA. So that's the 13 and 21 EMA. It's actually really, really good. Like really, really good. So if we do end up turning bullish, the momentum comes back, this will easily move forward. Easily. And then we're going to be creating a new wave pattern. So we want a brand new fractal to show up. So the number three fractal should be starting here and then finishing and then either here or downwards. It depends on where we are at. Okay. Let me read the comments here. $2.36 for Oculus by 2025. Pessimistically, yes. Optimistically, no. Optimistically, I think we still test our all-time high at $8 because I think every new coin that goes onto the market has to test their all-time high. So whatever that is. I mean, I remember the setup for Jupiter being the way it is, right? And right now its all-time high is, I think it's $1 something. Let's see here. Yeah, it's about $1.72. So that's going to be tested again at some point, right? Just because we need to confirm if that was the actual top. It's the psychology of trading. If that's the actual top, people will sell there and they will regress there forever. But if it's not the actual top, people buy more and then create a new top. So with Oculus, I do expect a challenge for that, was that $8 level. Whether we get there or not, I'm not sure. We have to obviously see the momentum of that trade. But again, pessimistically, $2 and something cents. And then optimistically, $8 for sure. All right. I think we covered a lot of ground. I thank Lee for posting the stream for all the Oculus fans. I think they would appreciate it. I do want to make sure that their sentiment is still high. I want them to be optimistic because it sometimes is really difficult to be optimistic in a bearish market. So it's really important for them to understand that the end is not the end result is not lost. Like we were still going to see the bullish waves, the bullish action in the near future, and with all the stuff that I know is in the works for the Oculus project and the app and everything else, is going to be amazing down the road. Thank you again for being a part of this journey, and I think I will see you tomorrow for episode 7. Thank you again. Bye.